on, guys. I got to mute my computer. I've got Ray here from Corn Dog Caravan. He is traveling north for work camping, and he stopped by the shop and is hanging out. I gave him the weed eater. He's been working all day, but hanging out with me. Welcome in.
Thank you.
Um,
Good to be here.
and
Good to be back in Missouri too.
good to be back in Missouri. So go ahead and tell my guests or my community who you are, your van. Tell us about your van and why you're in Missouri and where you're heading.
Yeah, so we're now 4 years full-time travel. Sold everything and built the van out. And it's me and my wife. My wife, Chris, is in Daytona helping with family with her dad. So I'm hitting the road to escape a little bit and make a little money, go up to Minnesota and work at, this will be a first for me, but working at DigiKey. So I start DigiKey late June, and then we have to do a 3-month commitment with DigiKey. And then after DigiKey is over, then I'm going to probably go back out west, further out to Idaho, and work the sugar beet which will be for me, it'll be my 4th season doing sugar beet harvest.
Now, I've heard about the sugar beet harvest. I haven't heard about DigiKey. What is that?
So DigiKey, it definitely has been really popular the last couple of years for nomads, work campers, that kind of thing. They are a warehouse that sell capacitors, all little electronic parts, circuit boards. And they built a new facility, I think probably 2 years ago. And they just need help with fulfillment. So since I haven't worked there, I don't really know exactly what I'll be doing other than probably moving stuff from here to here, maybe putting it in boxes and putting label.
For shipping it.
Almost like Amazon, but we've got road friends that have done this now, I think their 3rd or 4th year. They love it. They say it's easy work. You get treated well. They appreciate you. So it's good money. You get some overtime. It seems like the overtime's getting a little bit less than it used to be. I think either they've just got more full-time employees now instead of relying on more work campers. And it seems like overall, the work camping's slowing down a little bit. Either people are finding other, maybe local help, that kind of thing. But
being retired, I would think that overtime would be blasphemy. That would be, that's like, I would be okay with not the overtime. But if all you're doing is going and working for a bulk amount of time, I guess work as much as you can. That way on the off months, you got that money to spend.
Yeah, I think DigiKey I'll probably be working maybe as much as 50 hours a week.
Oh, wow.
And then one of those could even be working on a Saturday.
Oh, wow.
But they feed you. I mean, they really do. It sounds like they really do take good care of you.
Nice.
Now, the sugar beet, which I'll be in American Falls. It's not hard work. It's just long work because the previous 2 seasons we were with Sydney Sugar, and we worked generally up to about 12 hours max. But at
a day. Yeah.
At Amalgamated Sugar, it's going to be, last year we worked, I think, a couple of days, 14 and a half hours.
Oh my gosh. That's tough.
And you're on your feet, you're alert, you're helping trucks back. I mean, it's easy work.
Mm-hmm.
At American Falls, where we worked last year, the temperatures were really decent for most of the season. Right at the end, it started getting a little chilly, but it was, bearable. They supply you with extra stuff if you're, pocket warmers, all that kind of stuff. So,
oh, cool. Is that so the beet harvest and this DigiKey, is this the only work camping that you've done?
That we've done, yeah.
Okay.
But and I'll say a huge difference. I will probably make again at Amalgamated Sugar in 1 month time is 3 months of DigiKey.
Really? So
because
the beet harvest is good.
Yeah.
That's good money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I don't want to say what we made, not because of privacy, but not everybody can make it because depending on the piling station you're at and how many farmers come in, you might only work 2 or 3 weeks, whereas we worked pretty much the whole month of October. And we also did pre-harvest last year. So that gave us an extra kind of a week and a half of time. So
Nice. How long is the beet harvest season?
most areas, because your states that have beet harvest is going to be North Dakota, I think Minnesota, Montana, Idaho, kind of your northern states. Generally, they all are going to start probably mid to late September and then finish by November 1st.
Cool.
Just because the beet temps have to be a certain temperature to get them out of the ground and piled. So it's a limited window.
And it's getting cold up there by then.
Yeah.
Oh, hand warmers might not be enough for me. Being retired, any work is blasphemy. Welcome everyone new to the chat. Thank you, Mary Jones. All right, guys. Let me see here. If you guys have any van life questions, they've been full-time in their van for 4 years. I am going to say when I met you for the first time, we were in Quartzsite at an open house. They've got a silver ProMaster just like us. Mm-hmm. And the open house was over, and I don't know if I walked over there or if Chris came over and then I walked over there because you were still showing your van. And so I got a quick look at it, but he's got a different electrical setup than what most people use. So we may be doing an electrical video collaboration while he's here. He's going to be here for a couple of days before he heads north, I hope.
I've got more grass to cut.
Got more grass to cut. I'll tell you what, you talk about Les and Bernadette came. So after my knee surgery, cutting grass was really out. Part of it is because there's so many uneven, it's not like it's flat ground. The dam I could probably cut, maybe over there I could cut. So Les and Bernadette were here at the perfect time that it needed cut. They woke up one morning, came up here and said, oh, I'm going to cut grass. And then not real long ago, I mentioned on the live stream, I said, I need to get a work camper. And I think you messaged me the next morning. So I have been post-operatively very blessed on this grass.
And you probably didn't think I was serious about it.
I really didn't. I didn't. For health reasons and that, it's like I never want to push anybody to their limit. And so he got the weed eater today and weed eated the park. The park is still getting worked on. There's a lot of roots. There's a lot of rocks. And I don't know about Bernadette in the chat will verify this, but Les has taken out a window weed eating, and Bernadette put a rock not through my shop, but it penetrated it to the point where we had to seal it. Rocks shoot out of that lawnmower like rockets. And if it can penetrate that steel, it'll put an eye out. So we eat the park until I'm ready to get that mowed. Question. What have you found to be the most challenging for you in van life?
I think, well, probably for my wife, Chris, probably at the beginning was knowing where we were going to park, camp, whatever you want to call it, boondock, knowing where we were going to be, a couple of days out, a week out, a month out. And for me, I'm pretty laid. I can sleep anywhere and sleep really hard. So I don't have a concern with that. She's not as concerned, I don't think, with that she once was. For me, it's, I think it's traveling and not maybe preparing to find the things to do. And then you always leave and then find out, oh, we should have done that hike, or we should have gone to that waterfall, or it's the planning, because it's when you're going and doing, you want to go and do, not plan.
Uh-huh.
And then we always try to make a note of when we come back, let's go to this place, that kind of thing. So I think for me, that's probably the hardest, which I wouldn't say is a hard thing, but it's just using your time wisely and having good connection to be able to do research.
Okay. So, question for me was, would I ever consider doing per diem nursing again? Per diem nursing means that if I want to go in next Friday and do a shift, I can call the hospital and say, hey, can I come work next Friday? that's per diem. You have to be affiliated with a hospital for per diem work, which right now I'm not. I do maintain my nurse's license. I will tell you, when people ask me, do I miss nursing? I'll tell you what I miss. I miss having 4 days off a week. It's weird here. I work every day. But throughout the day, I'll stop and sit down, or I'll have to go feed the birds, or I'll take Ray on a UTV ride or whatever. So it's a different kind of work. Nursing was 12 hours, go, 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 go. So on my 4 days off, that first day was really recuperating. And if they weren't 3 days in a row, then it was 2 days recuperating after each shift. So at this point, I'm too busy doing van building to work per diem anywhere. The problem is, the longer you're out of nursing, the harder it would be to go back. I'm not gonna say I would never do it again. If Kelly and I wanted to take 6 months and be nurses on a ship, a cruise ship, I think I would consider that. If it's Alaska, I'll just go and support her nursing abilities while I'm on deck sightseeing. But yeah, so it's not out of the question. I'm not at that point right now where I'm going to say I would never do nursing again. But after being out of it 2.5 years now, I can't imagine how many things have changed since I was in nursing last. So let me ask you this, because you guys traveled with the dog for a while, right? Okay, so do you take any special considerations in preparing a van for pets?
In our build, so when we first hit the road in 2020, we had 2 Boston Terriers that I think when we hit the road were, I'm probably wrong on this, but they were probably 8 years old, I think. In good health, and they were active and, bubbles of energy like most Boston Terriers. And they were crate trained at home, but once we hit van life, it was like we had swivels up front. So each dog had their own little bed and a seat, and they would look at us all night, puppy eyes.
Yeah.
Like, let me get the bed.
Right.
And then probably a couple of months in, they started sleeping with us.
Yep.
We're in a full size bed, so there's not a lot of room.
Yeah. Maddie, the thing with Maddie is, after she had her spinal cord injury, she was potty trained, litter box trained. After her spinal cord injury, she was no longer litter box trained. So before her injury, my refrigerator is elevated, so her litter box slid underneath it. So you could tell when she had to go, I would pull it out, and because she really didn't like to go outside. After her spinal cord injury and her surgery, she will not walk. She doesn't like walking on rocks. She doesn't like walking on slick surfaces. The pads of her feet have really changed. So she will not get in a litter box. So now, we carry the doggy bags and all that, and have to walk her at night. And I hate that part of it, because I don't want people to know that I'm in that van by myself, a female with just the dog, the very intimidating dog. But now I'm doing another van build for a couple that have 4 dogs. They're going to have 3 dog kennels in this van. Now, these dogs, I can tell you, travel a lot in the car and are used to kennels. So these kennels are not going to be anything different. It's going to take away from storage in their van, but they're going to have a long bench, just like Jane's build. So the kennels are really just going where underneath the bench is. That's going to slide out to be like a 30-inch bed. So the only thing that's taken away from this build is storage. So
yeah, and I think at least with the 2 Bostons being short faced, we really had to try to plan like our travel, really trying to stay in better climates. And even there were times where we could leave the dogs in the van, you know, because
Uh-huh.
it was, let's say, 40 degrees outside. So
Right.
they were comfortable inside. But if it got more than, you know, mid 60s and we were trying to hike,
Yeah.
the whole time we're gone, we're thinking,
Yeah.
is the van getting too warm? We got to get back. So
Chris-
sadly, so we lost Sophie, our first girl, probably about a year and a half to 2 years into van life. And then this past March, we had to put Brutus down,
Yeah.
and he was the love of more Chris's life than mine. But yeah, we still
It's
miss
still
him.
hard.
It's hard.
So Chris did say that our dogs dictated everything that we did. We missed out on a lot due to the heat.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah. And especially when you guys started van life, and I know you guys were in Missouri when you did you immediately sell the house?
Yeah. November, I think it was election day, we were out of the house, closed.
So you built your van and you didn't go traveling it for a year and then, okay, so,
we did a couple of test trips, but
yeah.
Yeah.
So did you go south because you guys are originally from Florida. So did you go to Florida first?
On that very first one, yeah, we ran down south
Yeah.
to see family. Yeah, because it'd been a while.
But in November, that wouldn't have been hot. That would have been the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good time to go to the south.
I will say on record here that Ray did say today, I kind of miss Missouri. Not a lot of Missouri people. No, I'm saying everybody misses home. And when you're somewhere for that many years, you're going to miss it. But we're in a good part of the state down here.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You know, it's beautiful here. It's, yeah,
Quiet.
It's nice. Quiet. It's quiet. Desert Sage, the beagle, trained to pee on a pad at night. I don't know if Maddie would do that or not. Maddie was sick in the desert last year. I put pads everywhere, and she doesn't like the texture of them. She just doesn't. Something with that spinal cord injury, she doesn't like that anymore.
Yeah,
So.
I think a good segue there. I think when your pets are sick and you're a full-time traveler and you have no idea where vets are and which ones are good, you really have to have either a good community that can steer you to a good place.
Yep.
We did use Irelander when we were at the beet harvest because last season he had a couple of urinary tract infections, a couple of things that we had to get a vet. And luckily I think it's in Burley, Idaho, found a really good vet that got him in quick, because that's the other thing is they're usually booked out.
Go ahead.
And you can't sit around and wait, unless you have no other choice. But
when I was in Quartzsite this last year, Maddie really got some kind of a bug. And I waited and waited, and I thought, she's getting better. And then I was like, she's not getting better. So I had to take her to the emergency room in Phoenix, and it was like $1,400. It was like $1,100 or $1,400. And she's had a gastroenteritis type bug. She had a little blood in her stool, probably from going. It's just, it really, I'm telling you, having a sick dog, it consumed my entire trip this last year. I was there 2 weeks. She was probably sick on day 4 of me getting there, and it consumed my entire time there. It was horrible. Horrible for Maddie. Yeah. And it took me 3 days to get home. The first day was getting better, and then day 2, and then day 3 was better. But so by the time she got home, she was fine. I was like, oh man, it was a tough trip. Gary is in the house. Good to see you, Gary. I travel with Calico Cat, who is a Klingon. It has to always be near me. Sean's got a cat out here, and Sid, the cat, loves vans.
Was that him?
The white cat is Sid. That's Sean's. Okay. And I'll tell you what, when Sean and I are working, at some point, matter of fact, she was on last week's video, she sneaks into these vans, and she just, I'm like, thank goodness these van owners, like pets. So, sick pets on the road is horrible. Absolutely. Absolutely. That was Chris. I use Banfield. Oh, hi, Chris. I forgot to say hi. I use Banfield, have a membership so you can get into a PetSmart nationwide. That's probably smart.
Yeah, we used PetSmart for the shots because it was really cheap.
really,
Yeah, for the annual shots.
let's see here. Let me go back here. Having a pet in a van can have its challenges, especially solo, but they also bring you joy every day. Absolutely. Somebody is calling Jock a bed hog. I feel like that's true. I know that feeling, having to share a bed. Yep. Please show us the van when finished. We will show you this van for sure. I tour all the vans that I can. I've only done one van where I didn't get a tour, and
I guess you could check out our van tour too
you went.
on our channel. Our van tour that we.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Check out their channel. They've got a van tour on theirs. They do a lot of hikings, a lot of vlogging style. Guys, after the show, give these guys, check out their channel, but not only check it out, but if you're getting ready to go to bed, go watch their content. But they've got over 1,000 subscribers. They're about 75% through, over 75% of their watch hours. So if you guys could play their playlist, if we have 47 people run their playlist, that'd be golden. That would be golden. That might even hit some numbers here.
Break a record.
Lynn is in the house. Good to see you, Lynn. Happy to hear that you took your transit home today. I'd love to come out and stay for a couple of nights. I got the campground. I had a lawnmower from across the street spit a ball in my face. It ricocheted through a window and hit a wall. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll tell you, stuff comes out of those lawnmowers and they go flying. They go flying. I'll tell you, I'm gonna get Ray in trouble here. How much different is van life, because you're on the road right now while Chris is with family. How much different is van life solo as opposed to maneuvering around that second person?
Well, I'm only like day 3. We've been married 31 years. So this is the first time, other than when I used to travel for work, that we've been separated. So in a couple of days will be probably the longest that we've ever been separated.
Wow.
In 31 years. Now, she might be thankful for that at times. But it's weird. It's just weird not having, her with me. And really what's hard is, driving here, because I really don't want to use my phone while I'm driving.
Yeah.
For, navigation, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't have my navigator beside me kind of helping me say, oh, no, turn right here,
Yep.
So,
Les and Bernadette do the same thing. Bernadette's the navigator, Les is the driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that you can stop without being say, honey, stop, they're slowing down. Kel says they're slowing down. It's amazing. I can stop on my own when I'm by myself.
I'm very helpful. Very helpful.
Oh man. She says, were we supposed to turn there?
Well, she doesn't like me to tell her what to do.
Why? Try maneuvering a husband in a wheelchair. I can't even imagine that, and 2 dogs. Here's the thing with Kelly and I, with our van design, and you guys kind of have a narrow walkway too, if I remember right, is we wake up in the morning and I have to have my morning coffee. So I'll get my morning coffee.
do the shuffle.
I'll kind of do my little thing, and then I try to exit, whether I just exit to the front seat or exit outside the van. Kelly very patiently will wait to even get out of bed because the whole shuffle doesn't work. And she takes longer, to get ready, which it's not a here nor there. So I try to get my stuff and get out of there because I know when Kelly's with me, so.
I'm very patient, but then I say, get out.
Yep. I got 10 miles down the road and the check engine light came on. I had to leave it and I will go back tomorrow and get it. Oh no. I hope that's Lynn. I drove my husband nuts with his driving. Brake, slow down, don't get so close. I know. Kelly does it. Kelly will say that. She'll say, honey, they're slowing down. They're braking ahead.
I see red lights.
I'm like, stop. and she'll hold on when you see her hold the handle, and she'll kind of, when we're going up mountains, or and if you pass a semi, I mean, she's just about in cardiac arrest over in the passenger seat. So
I think that's a little dramatic.
yeah, no. I drove my husband. Yeah, I drove my husband nuts with his. Oh, I think I just read that one. Les said, right, stop on your own. It's true. It's true. I'm not a good passenger anyway, because when I drive with my son, I watch the speedometer like he's going 90, and he really is only going 45 or 50, barely over the speed limit. But in the passenger seat, I feel like I'm in a 747 and we're going to die. So I can totally relate to Kelly 100%. That's Chris saying that. This has not been an easy process by any means. I can see that, and I can see, I'm glad that check engine light actually came on while you were like really didn't have it in your possession for a month, because I feel like get it, whatever's going on, get it taken care of and let them be the ones to fix it. Try driving the Class C through a semi on both sides of it. No, that would never happen, because if I had a Class C, I don't even know if I would ever leave the right lane.
Just stay there.
I would just let everybody go around me. Yep. And I get it, at some point you're going to find yourself in the middle, but I bet you I could break some speed records getting over back into that right lane. So she cannot stand two semis and me going through the middle of them. I will purposefully avoid that at all costs, because
Meltdown.
you had a tire fall off of a semi and hit your car, right? So there's warrant for being nervous
Even
about
the
it.
drive here, there were a lot of accidents.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since we've been on the road, so maybe I was just more aware, but boy. And I think with the heat and tires blowing, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anne says passengers have imaginary brakes. Yeah. Totally. And that's why, when you're in an accident, one of the most common injuries that I had ever seen as an ER nurse, the most consistent, is people that are in automobile accidents either snap their ankle or snap their femur, because they do
They're
this.
bracing.
So whether you're in the passenger seat or the driver's seat, when you think there's an impact coming, you snap a bone. Snap a bone. Absolutely. We may not have brakes, but not a steering wheel to hold on to. But not a steer. Yeah, there's an emblem in my way, so I can't read the whole comment. So, what do you think the hardest part of van life is? The van life that you have.
For me, it's like the whole pooping thing.
Oh yeah,
That's hard for me.
yeah. Kelly doesn't like that on the road.
I like to eat a lot of cheese, so I don't have to.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. Do you guys have I can visualize your van, but there's certain things that I can't visualize about it. Do you have a bathroom that's enclosed?
So no, it's the only thing we have is a composting toilet.
Uh-huh.
So right when you open the slider,
Uh-huh.
we call it the poo, or having the poo with the view.
Yeah.
It's right there. Now we've got a cushion on the lid,
Yeah, that's how I have
So
mine. Yeah.
So it's kind of disguised, but
Is
And
it
some-
a nature's head or an Ogo or?
it was a urineseparator.com.
Oh,
It's a
uh-huh.
porcelain diverter.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
So
And
you
then-
kind of made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Had
Cool.
to kind of figure out where to put the bucket and,
Right.
test fit it. But it's worked great. We're, like I said, 4 years. We don't really if we're going to be out for a couple of weeks, we'll use compost material.
Uh-huh.
But most of the time, because we're going to be within a city, let's
Yeah.
say within a week, a lot of times we just put the bag in the bucket.
Yep.
And then the bucket contents just get
Yeah.
put
Go and
almost
throw.
like a diaper.
Yep.
And
Go and throw. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people do. Yep.
Um,
So, yep. Just had brakes fixed today on my little van. Cool. People suck at driving, gotta have your head on a swivel. Right?
Mhm.
Yep.
And everybody's on their phones
Yeah,
They're not
yeah.
supposed to be.
because we're up high, so we see it all.
yeah,
Everybody's
Yeah.
on their phones.
yeah. I put my phone on a holder and I'll listen to YouTube. But even with that, every now and then, just like you said, with the GPS,
Mhm.
sometimes you gotta, yeah, it's
We
terrible.
got to glance at that.
Yep. Yeah. No fun, no fun.
The good thing is she has YouTube Premium, so she doesn't have
No
to try
ads.
to skip through ads.
Yep. Yep. That happened to me, Gracie's. Ooh, yeah, yep. Get out of their way. Yep. Surfing Dodo, I agree. Most folks drive like idiots. Yep. We have so much money with Ray building we saved so much money with Ray building our toilet. I'm so glad that we didn't go with the nature shed. And I will
We
say,
almost did the nature shed.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a nature shed and I have an OGO. I've got a nature shed in my bathroom. I've got an OGO in the van. And the OGO has a bucket that you just pull out and you can
Mhm.
dump in a bag or whatever. So it's a whole lot better.
And it's
I
light,
will
too.
say,
And it really lightweight.
yeah,
Yeah. Decent.
it is lightweight. But here's the thing. You don't have to, the nature's head, you got to completely take it, disassemble it.
And clean.
And in a van, there's not a really clean way to do that. You literally have to take the toilet out of the van to separate them, disassemble it, so that you don't make a horrible mess inside your van.
Mhm.
So, we liked the nature's head while we had it. I did have some compost issue one time, it had some mites.
Which was horrible.
But on a scale of 0 to 10, the nature's head being like a 2 or 3, the OGO toilet's it's
We
an
love
8 or
the
9.
Elmo.
Yeah,
We love
I
the
love it.
Elmo. But
Yep.
now that we're using the nature's head in the the bathroom in the shop, the nature's head is more like a actual toilet size and shape. So that works good. And there's plenty of room in there for Johnny to
I love this comment. It says, my husband has become a much better driver since we changed insurance, and they put one of those devices that hooks up to your phone. So insurance is lower because they can rate your braking. So I have a kid that has that on their car, and it does lower your insurance. Patty A is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you're feeling well. I have a 28-foot Class C, and I know how to drive. Yep. I'll tell you what makes me nervous when I'm following somebody is because I can't remember. I guess it was when I was coming back down here the other day, and somebody was pulling a cargo trailer. So whether it's a cargo trailer or a flatbed or a travel trailer, when they start swaying, I'm telling you what, and where I was at, if that broke loose, because I felt like it was going to, I didn't know where it was going to go. I got around them quick. I made double time because it was so bad. And there was no sway bars. There was nothing on that.
And they were probably doing 75.
It was crazy. Well, and not only that, but I've pulled trailers before. When it starts swaying like that,
Yeah.
you got to slow down, regroup,
Right.
and get going again, because you're not going to drive the sway out of it. It's going to keep swaying.
And the problem is coming down here, it's a 2-lane highway and some of it doesn't have shoulders.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I got around them real quick. I was like, the OGO is very easy to use and change out the poo bucket. Yep, it is. And
I like the little press the button thing rather than grinding.
Not only that, but the OGO toilet has a light. So when the urine diverter gets about that far from the top, the light comes on. And I'm telling you, when it comes to toilets like this, I feel like if you do van life long enough, especially if there's 2 people, because you really don't, when it's just you going, you kind of know, oh, hey, my thing should be getting full pretty soon. but when there's two people, yeah, it has happened
You're
before.
checking the levels regularly.
It is, yeah, yeah. So I like the light, and of course the button. You press the button, and it turns it. It turns the compost. So I love it.
Isn't it funny how when you live in a house, you don't talk about toilets?
You don't.
Yeah,
You don't.
When
Yeah.
when you travel,
Uh,
that's like all you talk about.
I have had Patreon Zoom meetings where it's an hour long, sometimes an hour and a half, where 80% of the stream or so, we talked about different toilets because people that are getting ready to get into it, the last thing you want them to do is buy an $1,100 toilet and they're not going to like it.
Mhm.
So refrigerators and toilets, those are big topics because they can be your most costly
Yeah.
items. So
Well, I think refrigerators are interesting too because different people have so many different takes on how much food they want to carry or how often they want to grocery shop. And some of them want the upright kind like a
Yeah.
house, and some are okay with the chest kind.
And
Yeah.
they're all expensive too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Surfing Dodo said, "Where's Sean? We need your lighting guy." Yeah, that's all right. We're going to make it through. We're going to make it through. Guys, we're about halfway through the show. I want to give a big shout out, a big thank you to all my channel members, all my Patreons, all your extra support that you guys do here. It really, 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 really helps me out. And we appreciate you guys. Oh, my other video didn't upload. I got another Patreon member, and I noticed that was the old video. Question. Okay, we got that. Toilets are important. Everyone has to go. That's right. That's right. Turn off the porch light. We don't have a porch light on.
That's the light from the laptop.
It's the light from the laptop. Click the like button. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if I get away from my computer, I don't know if that'll help the light. That makes it worse.
It makes us dark. Like Ray and I are in the dark.
I guess I can.
Oh, there you go. Now, if you could just hold it like that for another 25 minutes,
My arm may get numb.
we
Maddie,
could
say hi.
we could move into the shop. Matt, hold her up here for a second.
Maddie says hi.
Maddie says hi. Oh, there you go.
She likes
Well, I'll
the
tell you
moonlight.
what, Maddie has become not, is it UPS? Yeah, UPS and FedEx is, I think they'd like to take her out.
Aw.
She just attacks the cars. You
Yeah.
just like when you pulled up
Yeah.
yesterday, she just takes off after cars now. It's her new favorite pastime.
That's nice.
Everybody saying hi to Maddie.
I'm surprised she doesn't chase the deer here though.
She's getting used to the deer. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, yep.
There were a bunch out tonight.
Yeah. We've got about seven deer. There's actually four younger ones, two sets, two pairs of younger ones, and then there's like 3 doe. And I haven't seen Tripod in months. I did see the bobcat on the 6th, on June 6th. Yeah.
Was
So
it the short tail bobcat or the long tail bobcat?
just rayfish.
Not anymore.
No.
As a kid, I grew up on a boat
Yep.
going offshore.
Yep. Not anymore though. We had a horse.
That's one less thing to have to find storage for and equipment.
Yeah. All right, so Lynn is asking how much the Ogo toilet costs. I have a dealer rate, so I do get it cheaper. They're about $1,000, a little bit under $1,000, I think. I do get a dealer discount, and the Ogo Nomad, I get a dealer discount on that, so it's about 140. Brand new or with no discount, it's probably closer to 200, and then the other one's closer to 1,000.
Well, your discount isn't it $750?
It's 800. It's like 780, and then you get delivery. So you save a couple hundred off of it. So it is. I think it's worth it. Now Helen is in here. Helen's got the Ogo Nomad, and it doesn't have a fan or anything on it. Helen, are you liking the Nomad? I know you've only used it a couple of times out, but would you go the Ogo Nomad again, or would you do the fan and the electric Ogo one? Or too soon to tell?
And I think our total cost was right at maybe, now with all the price increases, maybe 200 for all the
Wow.
wood, the porcelain separator.
Wow. Did you order, did that come from overseas?
Yeah, it came from,
I-
it's not Russia, but it's like, somewhere close to Russia.
Like Slovakia or
Maybe,
something like
yeah.
that? Yeah. Yeah.
And it was shipped. I mean, the packaging was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And
Somebody else I know made their own Ogo toilet, and they got theirs from overseas. So I knew it came in. The Trolino is about $400, I think. The Trolino, though, which would be fine for Lynn, I believe the Trolino is real short. And I think it's like 13 inches. And that's the Ogo Nomad is real short too. Whereas the Nature's Head and the Ogo Origin they're taller. They're normal height. And for me, just having knee surgery, I don't know if I could have gone to the bathroom on a 12-inch toilet or 13-inch toilet with knee surgery. Granted, any custom build, you just elevate the toilet to the height that you like. So, and if it gets the Ogo toilet, it does not have a mixer. It's just, matter of fact, it doesn't even have a bucket in the back. You just clip a bag on, and when you see the little clips, they're kind of questionable. They're not, I mean,
That's
they're
the Ogo Nomad.
yeah, that's the Ogo Nomad. That's what they're asking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have friends with Ogo Nomad and they love it. There you go. No mixer, right. In Serbia is
Serbia, yeah.
shit and blood. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit and blossoms. In Serbia is where we bought the urine diverter. They will even custom paint them for you. That's cool.
Oh, what colors
Cool.
can you get?
Whatever.
You can get a Trolino composting toilet with urine separator for $180. Comes with 3 heights. That's cool.
That's really good.
Yeah, I didn't know it came with 3 heights. Oh, you know what? I did believe we saw that. It's like a small, medium, and large. I do believe I saw that now when we were looking at them. That was on a Sunday's Patreon Zoom. So 400, you know, I feel like because I'm basically I'm full-time in my van out here and I don't have another option. Like a lot of times when you're on the road, like depending on your system, you may hang out in a town, 30 minutes after you eat, because you think, oh, maybe I'll go to the bathroom. So then you don't have to use the toilet in your van as often for those purposes. Out here, my toilet gets used a lot because I don't have any other options. I'm not on I-40, and there's a rest area 3 miles down. I'll just wait and go. So I can notice a difference when my fan on my Ogo toilet is not plugged in. I don't have my Bluetti in my van right now because I loaned it out to somebody. So the battery that's in there, I'm testing, it's that Vitamin battery, and I take it in and out because when I'm working on this van in the shop and I need power, that's how I get power in that one because I don't want to open up their Bluetti yet. So when I don't have the fan going in there because the battery is somewhere else, I feel like I can notice the difference. So, but again, with the Nomad, just like you were saying, if you go and throw, or not, you know, you're tying it up, you're getting the odor concealed, it's probably not as bad.
Or you can always get a diaper genie.
A diaper genie. There you go. All right, here. The Nomad bag is iffy. Johnny custom cut a small tote for me as a backup. Yeah. So in the Ogo Nomad, the urine diverter is
Don't
in,
run out of bags.
yeah. Yeah. So the urine diverter's in front, and she got some couple of different types of Tupperware containers, and very, very little modification needed just to bypass that urine diverter. And because you never know when a bag is going to fail, and you don't want a failed bag out on the road with no backup. So she put a little bucket in the bottom of hers, and that is a big help. I found a kitty litter bucket it's a perfect height. There you go. Oh yeah, the square ones. I've seen somebody else use those. Greetings from Nova Scotia.
Oh,
Long
wow.
distance traveler music. Thank you for coming in, Nova Scotia. Well, I've got many friends right now. I bet you 3 that are actually in Canada right now, up near the eastern side. So I'm still traveling with my luggable loo. I know a lot of people that use those.
Simple and easy.
Yep. Are there places that restrict your camping because you have a composting toilet and not a black tank?
Not that we've run
Not
into,
that-
but we've heard about it.
We have heard about it, but it hasn't happened to us. I actually stayed at a campground near Roswell, New Mexico. Their campground is one of those campgrounds that if you were in a minivan or an SUV, you could not stay there because the owners had seen my van before and knew I was 100% self-contained. I was able to stay there. However, they do have legal restrictions. I'm not saying that rules don't get adjusted for certain people or certain, if I know that the person isn't going to go squat in my woods, that they're going to be responsible in their minivan, I'm okay with it. But there are places out there I would be willing to bet.
Well, that court site, I know if you're going to be, I think in like a minivan or a tent camper,
Uh-huh.
I don't know who tent camps in court site, but I think
Yeah.
I think you have to be within a certain number of feet of the bathroom
Oh,
facilities.
those, I think I do remember that too,
That's the only
especially,
thing I can,
especially as at that La Posta Sal.
Yeah.
That it,
long-term.
those, yes.
yeah.
I will say, I bet you, like, what's that one big campground? They're all over.
KOA.
KOA. I would be willing to bet if there's campgrounds out there with restrictions, KOA would be on, because I feel like they're a higher end,
Well, that's just like a lot of
Expensive.
them want your rigs to be 10 years or younger.
yeah,
I mean, they all have different caveats.
yeah, yep.
And even Harvest Host and the other one, you're supposed to be a self-contained rig.
Yeah. So Gracie said, I rarely use a rest stop toilet anymore. And I'm kind of that same way. Because I'm on the road and I've got my own bathroom, I like the privacy of my own bathroom. So sometimes I will run in, dump my urine diverter, and go to the bathroom when I'm in there. But I typically will use my composting as much as I can just for privacy reasons. How can I book a spot at your campground? You just got to notify me. If you're on Harvest Host, you can sign up through Harvest Host. If you're on HipCamp, you can sign up through Harvest Host, or you can call me and I will get you we'll get you booked, Brian. Let's see here. Any thoughts?
I had a thought, but I lost it.
Oh, we better find
Grab it back.
But you've got, I didn't need it because we're, solar and battery, but
Yeah.
you've got what, 30 amp?
30 amp, 50 amp, and I do
wow.
have 20 amp, which a lot of people don't even think about, but with cargo vans now, Jane and I were talking, she signed up for a campground and she they didn't have a 30 amp site available. They said, well, we do have a 50 amp site and you could just use a converter or a adapter, but she uses a 15 amp cord. So most electrical sites, even the one they say 30 and 50 amp, a lot of them, I don't know if I've ever seen one that didn't have just an outlet as well. So, so if you're on the road, try not, if you don't need 30 or 50 amp, you're going to save money by just registering for a normal campsite with 120 volt, 15 amp, whatever they have, 20 amp site. Let's see here. Yep.
And what's probably the longest rig that you'd like to have here?
I'll tell you. So I had a Harvest Host sign up, and on Harvest Host, it says your rig length, and then it says your total length. They had 26 in both spots. So I thought they're 26. When they got here, they had a 28 because they had a cargo thing on the back. So they were 28 feet, and they had a pickup truck with a cab.
Oh, wow.
So they, when you pull into the campground, there's that long, they had to park there, but they were able to pass up the campground and back in at dark. And it was the night of the eclipse. It was the night after the eclipse. So, yeah.
But
So,
it'd be best if it was like.
but 26 is what I like. I know Jesse and Happy Place Camping, they came with their cargo trailer. He said he's about 31 feet. He got in there pretty easy. So.
And it also depends, like, if all 4 sites are taken or not.
Oh, yeah.
If only one
Yeah.
here, then
Yeah, because if
it's
all
not a
4 sites.
problem, but-
Exactly. If you've got to maneuver around other vans, it would be. But I will tell you what, for the eclipse, I had 4 vans here, anywhere from 21 to probably 25 feet, because of one had bikes on the back. So that's a couple extra feet, and none of them had any problems.
Yeah.
So it was nice. So
It was fun.
And what's nice, I mean, you've got, what, Pizza Hut close by? I mean, you've got a lot.
Domino's actually delivers out here.
Wow.
And in town, there's a restaurant. It's some of the best food I've ever eaten in Fredericktown, the Depot. And matter of fact, what's tomorrow?
We're gonna go to the depot.
Wednesday, yeah. So, but the Depot, they've got McDonald's, they've got Sonic, they got Domino's, Pizza Hut. The old Mine House is phenomenal, steak sandwiches and
They have a
kind of a
local
bar and
Mexican
grill. It's
place.
really good.
They have a Mexican place
Yep.
that's local that I like.
Yep. The name under Harvest Host is Midwest Van Builders, and on Hip Camp, it is 4 Leaf Acres Campground. My van is a G20 Turtle Top, 3 levels. I have an AC200 Max and a B300. What should I get for my first solar panel? If you've got the Blue Eddy AC200 Max and a B300 battery, what size van do you have? It is a G20 Turtle Top, 3 levels. I'm not sure what that is, but you want to try to get 24 volt panels. Don't get 12 volt panels if you can get away with it. So I'm not sure what a G20 is because I don't know what it is. But if you can get, I like Rich solar panels. I like New Power. I mean, I average about $100 for 100 watts of solar, depending on the panels that I use. If you have a fiberglass roof, check out the SIG solar panels. But if you've got the AC200 Max, the B300, you've gotta get 24 volt panels, run them in series, and you're going to be set. And try to get at least 400 watts. If you can get 600, you'll be golden. What is better, a generator or a power station? I honestly am gonna say a power station. This is why I'm gonna say a power station, because a generator, you can't run it inside your van. Many places restrict generator uses after dark. You got to constantly make sure that you've got fuel on hand. And some of them are fuel / propane. You've got to constantly have those on hand. You've got, you're putting off emissions. A solar power bank, you can put solar on your roof. You can get a portable solar panel. You can charge it while you drive off of a pretty simple electrical setup, just putting an inverter in. Charge while you drive, charge at home. A lot of the power banks now have supercharge. They're charging at 1,800 watts an hour. You can charge a 3,000 watt power bank in an hour and a half. I'm telling you, I don't know how many Cracker Barrels. They've got outlets outside by the rocking chairs. Ask somebody, hey, can I plug something in for an hour, 30 minutes? A lot of parks have them. A lot of strip malls have outlets. Laundromats have outlets. Libraries. So here's the difference. Like our Nova Scotia friend has the B300. That's heavy. That's a heavy battery. But if she was desperate, he or she was desperate for power, she could unhook that AC 200 Max. She could carry that to a park, plug it in and get power. If she charges that AC 200 Max, I don't care what she's got in her van, excluding a ceramic heater or an air conditioner, that AC 200 Max is going to power any refrigerator, any light system overnight. It's going to get her through those night hours until the sun comes up again or she can drive again. So I'm going to say hands down a power bank. Now, just like Ray was talking to me about, before he decided how many amp hours of power he needed, he made a spreadsheet and said, I'm going to likely charge 2 computers every day. They charge at 50 watts an hour. It takes about 2 hours to fully charge them. I'm going to need 200 watts of power, watt hours, for that every single day. My refrigerator is going to run at 50 watts on average continuously. It may run at 70 and then nothing while that compressor's cycling. On average, 50 watts. That's another 600. Okay. Do that simple math, and you're going to know how big of a power bank that you need. If you're going to use a refrigerator and computers and lights, I'm telling you, a normal size refrigerator, 50, 60 watts an hour. Start looking in the average of 1,500 watt hour batteries to 2,000. The problem with batteries is these solar power banks is I just tested one 69% efficient. So if it's 1,000 watts, you're only getting 690 watts out of it. So whatever your power needs, multiply that by about 125% so that you have room for loss on your power banks. The other thing, hands down, I say this on every review battery. At night when you go to bed, on your power bank, whether you've got a full battery setup, whether you've got a solar power bank, shut off the inverter if you've got the full system, or the power bank AC, the alternating current, at night, if you're able to. And the only reason you wouldn't be able to do that is if you bought a refrigerator that's 120 volt, which you should not do at any cost. If you at any cost can get a 12 volt refrigerator, that's your win. So that's what I'm saying. Tell me if I answered your question.
As we kind of close out our time together, I would like Ray to share what him and Chris like most about being on the road and maybe something they missed from their Sticks and Bricks days.
Okay.
What do you think, Ray?
I think even like right now, kind of everything that we've been going through, and really almost since we've been on the road, there's always been some major thing, it seems. I think it's having the flexibility and being it, because when we had the sticks and bricks, we also had full-time jobs, both of us. So if something major happened with family, kind of like you have to ask yourself, what do I do?
Kind of limited.
Either I can only stay for a couple of days, and we moved away from family, 20 plus years ago.
Yeah.
So either that means a plane ride every week. I mean, and I guess as we get older, you really have to start thinking about that, especially if you have, parents and brothers and sisters that may need help, but even friends too, for that matter. But I think that's one of the obviously we love traveling and seeing things that we would probably never see before had we stayed, in the sticks and bricks. And I guess we always think if we want sticks and bricks, we can always go back to it. But
Yeah.
I never want a house again.
So Chris is saying she loves the flexible and adventure.
Yeah.
The cons, she misses her friends in St. Louis so bad.
Aw.
Yeah.
The only thing that offsets it are all the road friends that we've
The
met.
road friends, all the people.
They're phenomenal.
Yeah, us. That's how we met, on the road. A comment was made about having a solar power bank and a generator for on those cloudy days when you're not getting power. And I know you guys have
A
one,
little bit, yeah.
a little one. And I know that Mona, this band Life of Mine, has one. And I can tell you, Mona, for at least 2, maybe 3 days, saved a ton of women's vacation having that generator. She was nonstop charging batteries in Quartzsite because there was no sun and they weren't driving anywhere. They were all at camp. And 100%, I 100% agree with that. If you've got space for a small generator, do it. Do it. Because you never know when your system's going to fail, and you've got that backup power. If you've got the space for it and the finances to have it. So.
And you might be able to rescue someone else that
Absolutely.
is desperate for power
Absolutely.
for whatever reason.
Yep. Yes, you answered. I know I would need a lot of power. So the one with the roof with 3 levels, I would almost check out the SIG solar panels, CIGS. They're a little costly, but with your battery system, you've got a lot of money invested already. I would look into the SIG solar panels. So just try to put that like Chloraplex or whatever that is in between them so that you get some airflow underneath them. So, but they're phenomenal panels. Let's see here. Our backup generator has been the best. Yep. I have a large friend community and family here. I won't sell my stick and bricks. I love my friends and family. I bought a 2200 watt generator. It's still in the box. There you go. A gas generator or a solar power bank?
I'd say if you have a gas generator, maybe at least once every couple of months, pull it out,
Run it. Yep.
I mean, it becomes kind of a chore, but
Yeah.
you don't want to need it in an emergency and then it won't start.
Right. And not only but I think we talked about cycling the gas out of it.
Yeah.
And having. So do you carry an extra gas can or you just have what's in it?
Yeah, and I'd say that's the one thing that it's like from a safety standpoint, because in the van,
You can smell it.
no, I never smell it, but
Oh.
chances are if I'm going to get in an accident, I'm going to be
You're gonna
rear-ended.
be rear-ended, and then you're gonna have gas.
And my gas can's right at the back doors.
Yeah.
So that thought's always,
Yeah.
if we got creamed in the back,
Yeah. And they make those.
am I going to make it out alive?
Right.
Sadly.
They make those external gas things. I don't know. Do you have a ladder on the back of your van?
No.
Yeah. See.
But we carry a little 1 gallon,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
so it's tiny.
Yep. There you go. With a gas generator, only buy ethanol-free fuel.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
No, but
Yeah.
I've run mine just to kind of keep it.
Bye, Deborah. Yeah. All right, guys, it is 9:04. If there's no other questions, I will let you guys go. We're gonna go visit with Ray. I don't know if we're doing Sonic tonight or not. I got dreamsicles. Maybe I'll eat a dreamsicle. I've eaten all day.
Thanks for being here today, everybody.
All right, Tim.
Andy and I were glad we could join.
Thanks for letting me join.
Absolutely. It was good having you. Guys, before you guys go, check out Corn Dog's channel. And if you guys have time tonight, run that playlist for them. Let's get those guys some more hours that show them how much love is in this community. So safe travels out there, guys. If you had a question and I didn't answer it, send it to me in an email. I respond to every one of my emails. You guys take care. We'll see you Sunday on the premiere. Oh, Matt, I think Maddie just said goodbye. Bye, guys.
Hey, little munchkin.